What the fuck is going on, yo? Another one. Happy Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm checking in with you guys, tapping in. Um, got a couple of questions for y'all, man. Bro, right? So this has been a conversation for God knows how long, right? Weight, rider, weight of the bike, blah, 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 right? So you have this ongoing conversation about this shit, right? And I kind of see it is what it is, bro. Whether you guys, you know, it should be more of like, what are you guys comfortable doing between the guys that are racing? You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to match rider weight or bike weight, whatever the fuck, like, fuck it, bro. Race. Don't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to have enough or you're not. You know, we all love a good race, a good close race, right? So, but that's not always the case. Sometimes you think you have enough, but you really don't, especially if you're a bench racer. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how the nitty gritty of it goes. You know, I can't wait to see how the fuck Pac-Man does, you know, with Mohammed, shout out my jockey, versus me on the bike, right? Where my boy Mo is a way more experienced rider than I am when it comes to roll racing. You know what I'm saying? And by the time I get there, the bike's going to be a completely different animal. And he'll probably adjust a lot faster than I will, you know, which is fine with me. You know, I think seat time is 100%. Without seat time, you're done. You know, you can be a decent rider, but you're never going to see the bike's full potential unless you have that seat time and you build that connection with the machine that you're sitting on, you know. But right, you guys are sitting there and you guys are chilling like, yo, yeah, I'm one of the fastest in my fucking city. Well, you know, like Reap said, shout out to Reap. Reap said that, you know, you could be fast in your city, but he would rather have like a fucking tournament that goes, you know, from the east to the west, and you have to beat all the cities to really be one of the fastest. And you know, that's a big bill to foot, right? Because that's a lot of fucking money just in traveling for something that most guys do for free, a good percentage of the race scene. But I get his perspective, and I think that's pretty valid. You know what I mean? Um, we all think we're fast until someone fast pulls up. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and I do think that just because you're a fast guy, right? People think that you should be giving them all the advantage, especially if you're someone with a name and, you know, they make assumptions that you have the fucking biggest stroke of motor jigsaw in the world. Who knows at the end of the day, because it doesn't matter how big your motor is, you got to make it work. It's got to go to point A to point B, and it's got to be the fastest getting there, you know, and I think that people fucking forget that. Don't always think about, you know, power, because it's a culmination of things for you guys to go fast. You know, especially some of you guys coming into the game, you know, from gearing to how your bike's set up to what you're running for, you know, it's everything. It's a culmination of things. It's not just the power that you make on the dyno, right? And even that's subjective because every dyno reads differently. You know, it's like the same with cars, bro. Like, you know, it could read here on a dyno jet, you know what I'm saying? And it could be a Landon C dyno and read completely fucking different. Like it's just a matter of opinion there. But, you know, the truth will be in the streets when you actually put the power down and you're out there trying to prove yourself to the masses. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, when it comes to that, right? Like, you know, there's the conversation of fuels, right? Now that everybody's moving up from MR12, right, and stepping their game up, you know, what's going to happen to the guys that want to run 93 and MR12? Are you guys going to just take it for what it is and try to compete anyway? Or are you guys going to start complaining because the next man decided to step up and do M5 or a mix or fucking whatever kind of fucking fuel? Because there's, God knows, you know what I'm saying, jet fuel out there. People are running on their bikes. But, you know, how is that going to play out? You know, is that going to be a thing now, right? Back to the beginning of the conversation when it was, you know, rider weight versus bike weight. I think pretty soon it's going to be oh, well, what are you running for fuel? No, you got to get on. I'm not racing you on, you know what I'm saying, fucking M5 versus my MR12, bro. You got to get on MR12. You get what I'm saying? I've been super curious, bro, as to how that's going to go down, you know, just in the future. You know, I'm not speaking on any tournament or any place in general, because I feel like this is going to be something across the fucking board that's going to really be a thing in the future. Because as guys step up their game, right, and they're just trying to be competitive and they decide to run different fucking fuels, what's going to go on? Are the guys just not going to want to compete anymore? Or is that going to push the platform that we're on to a different level where, shit, you know what I mean? Even in Vegas, that's going to be, I think, very telling. Like, you know, of where everybody is and levels and so on and so forth. I think it's going to be very telling, right? Because I know a lot of different tuners that are going to be there, right? So that means a lot of different bikes tuned by different people. And you could say one thing, man, but that is going to be the showcase on you're coming into grounds unknown, right? A territory unknown, places that a lot of people have never raced before. You guys got to make your bikes work, right? So from shops to individuals that do everything to their own bikes, you know, I think it's just going to be a multitude of different outcomes, you know, and I can't wait to just sit there and kind of see how everything plays out for everybody. I wish everybody well, and I wish everybody luck over there, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's going to be a real thing. From fuel to weights and stuff like that. And I'm hoping that everybody finds the fun in it, you know, instead of like hyper focusing on this shit. Hope you have enough and enjoy the event for what it is, you know. And I think everybody should just go into roll racing kind of with a different mindset of like, bro, you know, even if you're racing for a couple of $100, bro, like 100, if you're going to these events and you ain't got a couple of $100 to fucking spare, bro, you shouldn't be going anyway. Vegas isn't an event where, you know what I'm saying, you're going to show up there and think you're going to be there for 3 days and only spend $500 fucking dollars. You shouldn't fucking be there. I'm just keeping it a stack because it is expensive. It is definitely expensive. Is it worth it? 1,000%. You know, but from traveling, you know, your stay, food, fuel, yeah, bro, you know, and it's some of us that, like myself, that I don't have a truck and a trailer. I get my shit shipped out. Shit, that might even be a cheaper option sometimes, you know, but yeah, bro, you know, I said it in the last pod, you know what I'm saying? I said it in my last shit, like, focus on having a good time, focus on being the best you can be, and everything else is going to be what it is. But those are some of the questions I had, man. Like, what's going to go on with the fuel? Are guys going to be complaining about what other people are going to be running in their bikes for fuel? Is the weight going to be a thing? Rider weight going to be a thing, right? Because we all know how Reap feels, right? Shout out to my brother, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're over 250, 240, you know what I'm saying? He's got your name on the list. Believe me. So if his bike makes it there, he's gonna have you on the list, my boy. So just keep that, you know, let's keep that in the mix there. There's big boys are gonna be there. I can't wait to see the heavyweights really go at it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, you know, talk to me. Let me know how y'all feel, man. I hope y'all are having a great weekend. And yo, SK, we out of here. Peace.